Hey, what's going on? Today you're gonna see, well, for starters, it's gonna cut to me from the past 7 days. And then you're gonna see some drone footage, and then you're gonna see me on a walk. And this is all in preparation to go to New York City. May 12th, 2025. That's today. 13th, 15th. I never know what the day is anymore. I'm pretty sure it's the 18th. May 18th, 2025. All right, we're gonna finish our walk on today's episode again. You know, the typical go over the highway. I'm gonna share with you some thoughts, right? So sometimes it might be easy to think sometimes that this format, look at this car, wow. This format, it's like not very engaging. You know, if you compare it to very successful guys on this platform like Ryan Trahan, or that one guy that just said he's retiring the Outdoor Channel, or you know, Mr. Beast or anybody, you find very quickly that I don't have as many cuts as they do. I don't have as much B-roll. I don't have as much time, effort put into this, right? But I think we're headed in the right direction because I've been doing this for about a year now. And when I started, you know, there were days where I did put 6-7 hours into it. And then there were also days where I put like 30 minutes into it. And to be completely honest with you, there were very, very, very few days where I actually did put 6-7 hours into it. Very few days. And I think it was very like, you know, you'd do that, you'd put 6-7 hours into it, and then like your video wouldn't go viral. And I think what's important is that you have that quality of video coming out every single day. And my plan, I guess, is to incrementally increase the time spent. So I'm very focused on like climbing up a set of stairs, I guess, metaphorically, and not taking steps backwards. You always take steps back, right? And you can't help it. But my focus is, I'm on this step currently, which is like, I am, how do I say this? Putting a set amount of time into these videos every day. Like every single day, it's at the very least 10 minutes. And I've been doing that for a long, not the whole year, you know. If you scroll back through the whole year, you'll find some videos that are 1 minute, 2 minute, 30 seconds, periods of time where videos never hit over 5 minutes for months, stuff like that. But lately, for months, it's been like a 10 minute is the default. You have to get to 10 minutes. And that's led me to, you know, just have the camera on for 10 minutes for a lot of times. Lately, I've been trying to move up the staircase the best I can, and it's like, well, I'll go on a walk. I'll be walking, I'll be moving, and it's good for my body, and it, you know, it's 10 minutes, and I think that's good. So I think like it's very much still like to accomplish it, I have to accomplish it, but I can say I think that I'm headed in the right direction. I'm just trying to go up the staircase. You know, keep on talking to the camera. Like, and you know, like this is lately, this past like 3 days, it's been very much like, okay, add into your hat of non-negotiableness that you must, you know, you've got to keep talking. Like you can't, like what does it matter if you roll the camera for 10 minutes and you go on a walk if you're silent for the entire time? Like what is that, you know, like how does that, like why, what's the point? You know, you gotta speak. And so here I am, kind of, I'm not say forcing myself to speak, but it's like, I'm definitely not being quiet, you know? And it's not as hard as you have to make it. Like, it's not as hard as, you make it harder sometimes. If you start to super focus on what you're gonna say, what's happening, like you kind of just gotta let go and think about like, if you were just talking to yourself, like be crazy, be insane. You know those homeless people that you always see when you're on the way to work and they're like having a fake argument with like a ghost? Be that guy, you know, be that guy. So I'm about to cross the highway, and then you all know the deal. After the highway, I'll be back at home, and after home I'm actually a couple hours early today, so my errand that I'm trying to get done before I go into work is grabbing myself a pair of pants, of work pants, and I'm gonna try and do that, and yeah, I'm gonna try and do that. That's sort of like my, like, let's give me some work pants, because my pants have a hole in them, and I don't have another pair that's navy blue. They've got to be navy blue. That's sort of the deal. They have to be navy blue. It's around this point of my walk that I always start talking about like people staring at me in their cars. I don't think it matters at all. And you know what's funny about this whole thing is that if I don't look at them, I'll never know if they're looking at me. And that's kind of how I like to keep it. Like I think the only way that they're gonna be able to get my attention, if I stay locked in that is if they shout my name. And then in that instance, if they shout my name, it means they've seen me on the internet. And then it's like, okay, yeah, now I'm interested in like speaking with you. Or at least looking, because I think looking at somebody is speaking with them, right? Here's the highway. You should have seen a pretty dope drone shot of this highway at the intro of this video. I upped the maximum height on my drone, so I was able to go up to 300 meters. Man, isn't it beautiful? Downtown is that way, but look, from this angle, you can't even see the buildings. On the drone, you definitely could though, am I right? The drone was awesome. It's so windy. The wind feels amazing. So, that's what I think. I think the camera can be on my face. I can be talking to the camera. It doesn't necessarily matter, you know, you got to lock in, stay locked in. It doesn't like, you know, it doesn't, who cares, I guess? Me, I guess I care. Look at my hair. If I could do two things before work today, I'd also get a haircut. We'll see. Maybe I'll drive to work and get them both done. Maybe. I feel like I have to have something in between the filming and the editing. Like I gotta cut it up. I don't want to just work for 5 hours straight. I feel like that's not good for my brain. So part of me wants to, but maybe, you know, or I think I could sit down and get a little bit more work done when I get home. Just start the uploading, right? And then I could just zip it over to the store and come back. That probably wouldn't be a bad idea. Because when I get home, it's probably going to be about 12:45, and that gives me a solid 2 hours before work, and I don't see why I couldn't get all my video stuff done and, you know, and get pants. I just might miss the haircut, but that's fine. That's not a problem there, you know. We're going to see how much can a guy really get done in 2 hours. And, you know, if this is the case, if I'm off work tonight with no video stuff to do, a new pair of pants, and a haircut, I will deem today very, very successful. I have to say, it would be one of those days where I'm like, nice. Nice. All right, taking the right turn to my building. One day this is gonna be a famous apartment. People are gonna come and see where I used to live in Raleigh. You know, I'm gonna have all these people in New York that love and adore me, and like I'm gonna touch so many people's lives, and people are gonna be in Raleigh visiting, and they're gonna be like, didn't you know jackkadis lived here for 4 years? We should go see where he lived for the last 2 years. And it's this building right here on Wolf Tech Lane, 1911 Wolf Tech Lane. I just was like, okay, I won't say the apartment number, but it's known. You can look at there's plenty of videos where I'm filming myself walking in and out of my apartment, and this is one of them. You might not see the actual number in this video, but it's in tons of videos. And at least in 1 or 2 videos, I directly tell you what apartment number I'm in. So why not just say what apartment number I'm in? I don't know. Looking up in my window, the toaster is up in the windowsill because I'm making toast sometimes at night, and the fire alarm will go off. I guess there's like burnt bread in the bottom of the toaster, and it sets the fire alarm off every fucking time. So this time I wanted toast, but I didn't want the fire alarm to go off. So I put the toaster in the windowsill and put a box fan facing the toaster. So I'd say it worked. This one's pretty evenly timed. 10 minutes, and it will be over. I need 30 more seconds. Okay, this is the end of the video. Thanks for being here. I'll see you tomorrow, and go watch a Keeping It Real episode. They're pretty good, you know what I'm saying? Peace.